Hey, my name is Lauren Faith, and thanks for checking out my YouTube channel, Fit to Be Happy. Fitness can bring us happiness. It doesn't have to be awful. And today, I'm gonna make you happy by showing you some ways to lift your tush. Because we all want that nice tight tone behind. And after being a personal trainer for 12 years, it's kind of become my specialty because that's what the ladies love, because that is what we want. It makes us happy. And that's what it's all about, right? I'm gonna show you a couple of my favorite moves to isolate and work your butt. Are you ready to join me? Let's go. So we're gonna start with some donkey kicks. These I like to add a light weight. I'm using a 3-pounder, and I put it in between my calf and my hamstring, and just having the weight there actually helps us to isolate the glutes a little bit more. So squeezing that calf and that heel in towards the butt, and then pressing up and squeezing the booty. And then I go right into fire hydrants, and it's such a funny name, but it's because you look like a dog. But it's all right because they really work your side glutes, and we're gonna do them anyways. So I do both of these 3 sets of 15 right into the other. For the donkey kicks, the thing I focus on most is pressing the heel towards the ceiling and keeping that weight glued into my inside knee. Squeezing the butt every time I lift, because if we don't squeeze it, we might not be working it as well as we want to, and this is all about working the butt. So squeeze it. And then the fire hydrants, try to keep the knee at the hip level. So as you lift, keep it at the hip level. It's easy to go back and forward. And depending on your flexibility, you might not get your knee as high as I do, and that's totally cool. Working on hip flexibility is super important though, for sure. This next one, I am doing a single leg deadlift, but I'm adding an extension. So I have a 5-pound weight here. A lot of times it is easy to round the back and not isolate the butt because we're feeling more of a low back. And so if you do that, this might be a good option to try, because it's about the extension, keeping the back flat and keeping the hips as square as you can towards the floor, and focus on driving through that heel as you lift up to isolate the glute. I like to do a lot of unilateral training when I'm working my glutes, because it can help me to focus on isolating one cheek at a time, but then also focusing on pressing through the heel. This one I go straight into the leg lifts, and so tipping forward. You can rest your hands on the floor or on the weight, and keeping that knee soft, and the other leg extends straight up. Keep that leg straight. You can do 3 sets of 10 to 15 of both of these, kind of depending on how your legs feel that day. And then we got the other side, and we all have one side that's more flexible and less flexible than the other, and that usually makes the balance a little bit more challenging. So this is definitely my challenging side, and that's all right. I fumble and I keep going, and so will you. Yeah, just know it is totally normal, but that's why it's really important to work on the flexibility, and that's something that I'm definitely focusing on for sure, especially when it comes to this right side. It's quite stubborn. But yeah, pressing through the heel, keeping my back long, keeping my abs on, and my chest lifted. Trying to really reach opposite hands and toes away from each other. And these really burn, especially after doing those, because you're feeling both butt cheeks here. So you're feeling the leg that's lifting, and you're feeling the leg that's on the floor. So standing up might be a little bit of a difficult thing afterwards. So yeah. So I love this movement. This is my curtsy lunge just squat, and I use the bench. I have 2 risers on each side, but you can totally do it without the bench or with less risers, and you're still gonna feel it. So here's what I do. I keep my hips square to the front, and I keep the knee that's on the bench completely bent the entire time. So I land in a squat, and then I land in a curtsy on the other side. So squat, full foot is down, and in the curtsy, you're on the ball of the foot. Staying low, and this one burns. I'll give you a little front view so you can see. I'm trying to keep my hips square and keeping that knee tracking line with the toe that's on this step as I move the other leg to the squat, then to the curtsy. This is such a great one for the inner and the outer thighs, and also the side glutes. So you're welcome. 3 sets, 10 to 15, depending on, yeah. Last one is a single leg hip lift. 3 sets of 15 each leg. I like to use a little bit of a step up for this one to kind of get a little bit deeper into the glutes, a little bit higher, so more concentration. And with that leg extended, makes it a lot harder as well. Pressing through the bench to push straight up. So if your bench is moving a lot, think about pressing down rather than pressing out, and that might help. And then keep the other foot as flexed as you can, pointing that heel towards the ceiling, really getting a good glute squeeze. I hope your butts feel awesome now, and they'll feel even better tomorrow. And if they do, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you can see all my workouts. Find your happy today. Have a good one.